Awesome. All right, you guys, if you want to throw yourselves into mute, we'll go ahead and get this call started. So I want to thank all of you for being here. It is really fun to get together with you guys each Sunday night. I'm filling in for Morgan. I know I don't look like Morgan. My makeup isn't nearly as nice as Morgan's, but I'm filling in for Morgan. She's going to give me a lesson at Red and White. I already asked her. She's not feeling well, so she said, can you cover it? I'm like, yeah, got your back, girlfriend. I'm on it. So I'm really super excited to be here with you guys. This Sunday night event that we have every Sunday is really a highlight. Even though I'm aged out, I told Jason I'm going backwards now in age, so I will eventually catch up to you guys. But we are super stoked to be able to come together each Sunday night. And as you know, this call is all about the START movement, all right? It's basically created by people in the START committee of Canada. We created that committee to be able to pull people together across the provinces, across the country. But of course, this is a global call. We do have actually one of our south of the border friends here with us today to share her story. And it's a global call. So we invite everyone to participate because we are all part of Isagenix and we are all part of one team. And our mission is to ignite all young people to own their lives physically and financially. And through our contributions, create a lasting legacy and freedom. How many of you guys can get super excited about that? Whoop, whoop. Awesome. I know you guys are all muted, but I can feel your enthusiasm through the screen. So the purpose of these calls, as I said, is to pull everyone together. It's a place for us to share, to learn, to grow, because that's definitely a part of what is so important from a life perspective, but also from a business perspective. Now, those of you that may be joining us on the recording, we just want to let you know if you found this call and you're not really sure what this is all about, we are Isagenix Associates. Isagenix is a health and wellness company, and we make no claims to diagnose, prevent, treat, or cure any illness or disease. But what we do is we put these incredible nutritional products into our body, and amazing things happen because the body is the miracle. We also have an opportunity for financial income as well. And that, again, we make no claims on that. You're going to hear some great stories on this call tonight, but no two people are the same. And what you put into this is what you're absolutely going to get out of that. So on that note, I just wanted to touch base. John had asked a question about the Red and White Start Party. How many of you guys are going to the Red and White event? Hands up. You throw a yes in the chat if you want. Awesome. Okay, so Red and White is coming up. It is not too late, you guys. How many of you are going for Crystal Manager, or if maybe achieved Crystal Manager, or going for it? Sweet. All right, we got that reset. Go for that Crystal Manager. When you hit Crystal Manager, you're eligible to attend the leadership meeting, which will be led by David Wood. You do not want to miss that opportunity. All right, some of you have been with David. You've heard him. And, you've been honored to be in his space. So he will be leading that. We'd love to see each and every one of you guys there. There are still tickets available for Red and White. If you do not have one, be sure that you get one. Be sure that you ask as many people in your team and in your circle to go with you as you can, because you probably know the power of events yourself, and you're going to hear about that on this call here tonight as well. Now, there is a start party happening on the Friday night. I just want to clarify a few things because I had a conversation with Jacqueline about it. How many of you guys have tickets for the start party on Friday? Some of us do, some of us don't. I was purchased a ticket because they figured their start mama had better be there. So I'm pretty grateful I get to attend with you guys. I was going to phase out. I was like, you little kids, go do your thing. But I was going to join you on that. So Jacqueline has been working her tail off, you guys, to plan this start party. So Friday night, 7 o'clock at Hunter's Landing. The ticket that you purchase covers a full meal, and the meal looks amazing. They have actually expanded the menu because we sold out 50 tickets in less than 48 hours and then added 20 more tickets. And those sold out like very quickly, like within 48 hours. And they had to expand the menu because we're so healthy that we had so many requests for vegan and vegetarian and all this stuff. They've expanded the menu. So when you show up, because of covering tip and everything else and the amount of people, and it's an exclusive party for the start people, there is an additional $10 that you'll pay at the door when you come to the party. But the meal is going to friggin' rock, out of this world. There is dancing after as well. So basically, we're there. Corporate is going to be coming. We've got amazing door prizes coming. Corporate is coming to support us 1,000%. There's going to be, tons of great people, tons of great networking with your other fellow start peeps, and of course the dancing, which I'm super looking forward to, busting it out on the dance floor. Now, have you guys seen this information about an after party? How many of you have seen something about that? Some of you have. Okay, so let me just explain what this is. this is not a corporate planned event, okay? What it is DJ Schematics, or whatever his name is, you know, the dude that's on the stage with the headphones and the beard at the big events, pumping us all up before Celebration in Nico, right? Okay, he's coming to Toronto, so he wanted to have a place to DJ. So he's going to be DJing that night from the doors open at 10. Our party goes to like 11-ish, but the doors open at 10 at the Fiction Club. It is 2.5 kilometers from Hunter's Landing, so you can take a cab there. It is not a corporate event. It is not, we're not running it as a start party, but they've created it. So if you guys want to go, you can pay $5 cover for girls, $10 cover for guys. You use the name, you use the entry password START, and you guys are going to get in. And he's going to be DJing, okay? So just throwing that out there. A lot of people have been reaching out to Jack to ask information on that. I'm like, I don't want there to be confusion, because the priority is the Hunter Landing start party that Jack has worked her butt off to set up for us. But I just want to let you know that the DJ will be doing this other dance party after. And I know all of you are responsible. All of you will get to bed at a decent hour, and all of you will be fresh on Saturday, right? Okay, there. Does that clear up some questions on that stuff? If you have any other questions, throw them in the chat. We'll answer them as we go. All right, on that note, we're going to get into the meat of this call. I'm so excited. I got to talk to this girl on the phone today, and I just loved her energy the first moment I met her, but then talking to her on the phone again, I'm like, I just wish I was beside you so I could hug you. So we've got this awesome girl, Coral Berger, who is just sharing, you know, her name with us, how unique it is. She is from Eugene, Oregon. She is a 2-star Silver Circle. She is a busy mom with 2 gorgeous little babes and dedicated hubby, Kyle, at home. And she is super committed and super focused on sharing the love of Isagenix with everyone that she knows. And I'm going to let her tell the rest of her story. So, Coral, I'm going to pass it over to you, babe.
Hi, guys. Well, thank you, Tina. I'm excited to be here. Also super nervous, but mainly excited. So yeah, I'm a mom, and about 23 months ago, I wasn't nearly the mom that I am now. I just had Owen, and I was tired, and I was so snappy. I don't know if any of you guys are parents, but you know, when your kids start screaming and you just get that stress and you're just not the parent you want to be, you're not the patient, kind mama you want to be, that was me. And so yeah, I had put on baby weight and that bothered me, but what really bothered me was that I wasn't the mom I wanted to be for him. And so, and on top of that, our finances, that stress was more than I could handle. I remember one month we had 12 cents in our bank account. Like, I don't know if you guys have ever been there, but every single month there was always more month than money. And so I was looking for something, but had no idea it would come in the form of Isagenix. And so my husband comes up to me, and he's like, hey, babe, you should try these products. And I was like, no, heck no, tech no, get that away from me, because I was a nutrition major. So I thought anything that's not, you know, a food that I can chew is going to be bad for me. And so he's like, no, give it a try. And I said, okay, I'll take it to my nutrition professors to prove you wrong. I know, right? Horrible wife. So I took it to my nutrition professors, fully expecting them to be like, it's bad for you. Tell them all this stuff that's in it. And they didn't. They said, Coral, it's good for you. Give it a try. And so I said, okay. And I tried it. And guys, I got me back. Like, not just that tired, snappy mom. And I got me. Like, not just the weight loss, but like the happy, bubbly, patient mom that I wanted to be. When my kids screamed, it was like, okay, he's being a kid. It's fine. Not like, you know. And so that was really cool. So I started sharing it with people, not knowing much about the business. And guys, I got a debit, you know, our debit card in the mail, and it had enough for me to like, it had $300 on it. And for me, that was enough to like pay for my car payment and then go to the grocery store and not worry about checking my bank account. I don't know if you guys have ever been there, but like, you don't need to check your bank account before you go buy groceries so you don't overspend. That was me. And it was every single time I had gone. And so that was huge. I was like, oh, I kind of like this. But my husband goes, hey, babe, you should look into this business. And again, I was like, no. And so he goes, well, we don't really have another choice. And so I said, okay. And I started trying to build the business. And guys, I really struggled and failed. I did. I wasn't going anywhere fast. And then that's when Robin Dallaire, Mike's beautiful wife, reached out to me and she said, can I train you? And I was like, yes, you can train me. If you had a millionaire that's like, hey, I'm going to show you everything I've done, you just have to do it. Like, you would do it, right? Of course you would. And so I was like, yes, you can train me. And that was now about 18 months ago, right? And so now life's a whole lot different. But guys, if I'm being one-on-one personal with you guys, I didn't do what Robin said the first, how long, Mike? Probably year that Robin trained me. I didn't. And the reason is because I couldn't get out of my own head, or I would go to do it and the results, they didn't work, right? And so it took me a lot until I got to the point when I'd actually do what Robin said, which is like crazy, right? But how many of you guys have been in that spot where you're just like, you know what to do, but you don't do it, right? That's because of a lack of personal development. That's because you haven't grown. And so I dove into personal development, kind of, not out of the blue a little bit, and it changed our life. Finally, I don't know if you guys have listened to Isagenix Business. You all should have, but in there, Susan Sly says that if you're not reaching out and prospecting, the reason why is because you're attached to the outcome. And I was so attached to that outcome with calling people that I just wouldn't call anyone. And so it wasn't until I did that personal development and that growth and really dove into it that our business changed. And so if you guys are in that spot, that same spot where I was of going nowhere fast but wanting it, or doing things and it not working, it's because you need to change you before you can change your life. And so I can't tell you how thankful I am and grateful I am every day to Mike and Robin, because they poured love and just belief and all that stuff into me when I didn't. And so if you have a team member that's going nowhere fast, keep believing in them, keep pouring love into them, because someday they're going to pick up a personal development book and actually do what they're supposed to do. So thank you, Mike and Robin. I love you to pieces.
So awesome. You guys give it up for Coral. Such a great share. I want you to throw in the chat box, what were some of the takeaways? What were some of the things that Coral said that really struck you? What did you love about what she shared? I'm sure, how many of you could relate to some of what she said? How many of you know someone who could relate to some of what she shared, whether it was her story or, some of the business stuff? Yeah, lots of us, right? Coral, you have such great energy and you're so genuine. So you're definitely, going places. And I'm so glad that you started to listen, because they do know what they're talking about. And I can relate to that. It was about me. It wasn't about, so good. Thank you, hun. We're really glad you're here.
Thank you.
On that note, okay. So throw some shares, throw some love to Coral in the chat there, you guys. All right, so we're going to move on to the next piece of our call here, and this is the team building in the biz training. So I have the honor of introducing our guest trainer for the day, and I believe, I'm trying to think about when I met you, Mike. I think I might have met you at Pam and Kevin's house way back when. That might have been the first time we met, I'm not sure. Anyway, I was really impressed with this big, strong voice of a man, and his enthusiasm, his energy, and all of that. I was just mesmerized by all of everything he was saying. So Mike, a lot of you know his story, but I'm just going to go through it, and then he's going to share some with you as well. It's so amazing that he has given us this time on a Sunday night to share some of his expertise and wisdom in such a nice, intimate situation here. So Mike has worked as a police officer for 21 years, spent his last 8 years with the K-9 unit. He's married to his lovely wife, Robin, as Coral mentioned. And those of you that know, him and Robin, you know how genuine you are, and you know how committed and dedicated they are to helping everyone become the best that they can be. They have a blended family with 4 kids, still living at home, 2 older girls and their 2 little ones. They joined ISA in 2009. We're able to take it to some pretty great places. I'll let Mike share more about that. And allowing them now to both be home. They're home raising their kids. No one else is raising their kids. And they were the 107th millionaires in Isagenix. Let's give it up for them on that. That is amazing. All right. And it's pretty cool that, there's been so many more new millionaires from there. I think they were onto something right. One of the biggest things that they're proud of is they're receiving the Heart of Isagenix Award. And I remember being at that event, and you guys were unable to make it to that event. And when they called your name, I'm like, oh, they're not here, but that's so awesome. So cool. So proud of you guys for that, and definitely well-deserved. Mike is also a founding partner, certified speaker and trainer and coach with the John Maxwell team. And if you've ever heard John Maxwell speak, you know that he is obviously a guru and expert in the whole leadership. And Mike is definitely someone who inspires leaders. He's a true leader himself. And he's here to talk to us about how we can be the best leaders we can possibly be in building our Isagenix businesses. So Mike, my friend, I'm going to pass it over to you. We'd love to know a little bit about your story.
Awesome. Well, hey, first of all, thanks for having me on the start call, because I don't qualify in age to actually be on this call. So the only way I can be on is if I'm invited. So no, but I totally related, actually, Coral. Awesome job, first of all, for sharing. And that's what I really love is there's always things that people say that I was taking notes because you remind me of things and it's so powerful. But just kind of give people some background on us. We got started back in 2009. And I'm just going to be candid, is I had an awesome career. I love what I did. I got a lot of fulfillment out of my career, but the bank account just was not happening, especially not for a family. So we were always looking for something else that's going to help create more money, and so we were flipping houses. We got into real estate. I had rental properties, and we were doing all kinds of stuff. So I was about 40 to 60 hours a week at work, because if I got called out, I had a police dog, I had to go. I couldn't pick and choose. And then we'd come and work on properties. We're doing that. That wasn't working so great, so we got introduced to Isagenix from a product standpoint, and because we were looking to add to the family before my young lad Max was born. So we got introduced to the products, had great results. But I got to give credit to my good friend Kevin Barnum, who we'd always talk because we were both canine handlers on the same special response team. And he was like, hey, there's a business side to this network marketing thing, this Isagenix. And I finally agreed to take a look at it because we found out Robin was pregnant. Robin was a massage therapist. So when she was going to be off after having the baby, that created major pucker factor because she wasn't going to get paid. If she's not massaging, she's not getting paid. So it really kind of just gave us permission to look at things. And that's what I said is, it's great because we're going to talk about this whole demographics that you guys are kicking ass in and or have the ability to kick ass in. If you're not, then I hope there's a shift tonight. But you know what? I looked at it, and our financial situation required us to have to do something. So we decided to take a look. And quite frankly, when we went to go take a look, we knew the products worked awesome. We were going to look at the business model, and what really caught my attention was how many ordinary people were earning extraordinary incomes, like thousands of dollars a week. And for me as a cop, that was a lot of money. So I was like, holy smokes, how can we do this? And I was looking at ordinary people, and this isn't a slag against anything. This is what's so powerful about it. People who were following a system, they weren't, polished, perfect speakers. They weren't nothing. They're just up there excited and passionate about sharing something with people. They pulled themselves out of the way and were just sharing it with other people. And they started making a lot of money. So I thought, wow, I want to do that. I went home, got really excited. Me and Robin talked about it. We said, let's find someone to coach us. And I'm going to tell you, that was a complete shift for us. When we got someone who was successful to basically show us exactly what we need to do, because I was a cop. I was not, a network marketer. I wasn't, actually I even had some, some blocks there mentally about what I thought it was. But other than that, we followed that, we followed what they're coaching us to do. We're really fortunate. We hit 3-star in 9 months. And then we continued on to double that within 20 months. So I left my policing career. Robin had quit in the first 9 months. Never went back after having kids, and it's been an awesome ride. There's ups and downs, and we could talk about that, Tina. We could talk about, how to get through that, because it's never one just, even though we hit 3-star in 9 months, I want you to take the number out of there. It's not the time frame that it did. It was the amount of contacts we were willing to make every day and what we were doing. And I'm going to tell you, because when you have the fear of God in you about potentially losing your home or something, it's amazing what that'll do as far as put you into action. So we could talk about that, but I don't want you to think, well, I've been with Isagenix this long or that long. There's so many different factors that came into it, but we can touch on that. Like, we're just very fortunate. Our business, though, guess what? People, it goes up, comes down. Everybody knows it's the roller coaster. The key thing is you don't want to be on the roller coaster emotionally with your business. You want to stay somewhere in the middle. So when you got a low, you're not getting down. When somebody comes in your business and tells you they're going to be, ripping it up, they're going to be the first 3-star in your business, they're going to be doing everything, don't jump on that roller coaster with them. It's okay to be a bit excited. It's great. But what I do, because we jumped on that roller coaster and it was like, whoa, up, down. So, one of the things we do is we treat people like the TV. What we do is we turn the volume right down and we let actions speak. And that we get excited about what actions are happening. And that also tells us where to spend our time. But yeah, it's been an awesome ride though, Tina.
Awesome. Well, I love that. One of the things that just hit me is when you said that when you guys got, when you had got to that place with your income, that you left your job. Like, I've heard that story a million times, but I never internalized it the way that you just said that. And I think about, there's sort of lots going on, and like you are a professional question asker. You were a professional, police officer. So for you to know at that point that you were with the right company, the right people, the right culture, the right business model, like the right comp plan and all of that, to have that faith to make that decision, that speaks such volumes about what Isagenix is all about. So that was really powerful. I don't know why that hit me today more than it ever has before. So when you got started, I'm sure it was all rosy. Everyone was like, oh yeah, let's join Mike and Robin and what they're doing. And I'm sure it was never challenging for you, right?
Oh,
so
yeah.
So can you
like I said, me and Kevin were on a special response team with 26 guys. And the amount of chirping we got was unbelievable. Like, because, that's the one thing is that I think there's a lot of people. The people who, know nothing but are really too chicken shit, so to speak, to jump out of their comfort zone and try something will be the first ones to chirp you, because it takes absolutely no courage at all to chirp someone. It takes a lot more courage to step outside the comfort zone. But no, yeah, there's a lot of, even, Pam Barnum was Pyramid Pam at the courthouse. And we just constantly got a lot of chirping. It was good. And my family, I'm not going to lie, when I left the OPP, my dad, yeah, he almost held an intervention. He thought I was nuts. But so yeah, there was some challenges for sure.
So what did you do? What did you do to get through that time? Because I'm sure there's still time. I don't know. Probably now you're pretty bulletproof on it. But through that time, what would you say? If these guys are just, and they're younger, there's the millennial age for a lot of them. They're just, whether they're in school or out of school. What would you say for them to keep in the forefront of their mind to get through that stuff?
Yeah, well, one of the things I had to overcome, and I think a lot of people do, because, it was ingrained in me a lot longer than some of you, some of the people on this call, but I really had to shift my mind from being an employee to actually being my own business owner. And what I mean by that is it's just too easy. When I would come home, I'm on time off. Don't bother me. I'm not punching the clock. I'm on my time off. So when you're building a business from home and you don't feel like it, you feel like putting your feet up and you're like, I'll do it tomorrow. That will be the death of your business. Okay. And so I really had to shift from employee habits of I'm just going to put in a certain amount of time. I'm going to trade time for money. And I really had to realize, what was it like to build my own business, to realize that everybody on this call is building an investment. So you're investing in time. Guess what? I had to develop those 6-figure habits, and I'm going to be honest, I was in an employee mindset sometimes. You can't build a 6-figure income if you got 10-cent habits. And so I really had to shift that. When I'm tired, when we were tired and we're like, we still had to get those contacts, and all of a sudden I'd get called out and, I'd be gone on a search for, 3 days. And, I'd be checking in on Robin. Did you get the contacts in today? Because that was one of the prerequisites from our coach, our business coach, that we still had to get our contacts in every day. We still had to be doing something to move our business. So I got to say that was a big shift, Tina, for myself. And I think that's what everybody here really wants to look and say, treat this like a business. Don't treat it like a job. Treat it like a business where you're going, hey, you know what? And because think about that. Like, imagine where your Isagenix business could be in the next 12 months if you worked as hard for yourself as you do for your boss. You know what? If you don't think you're worth it, that's up to you. But I wanted to fire my boss. I wanted options. We were tapped out financially. I wanted more money. I wanted options. And the option to fire my boss, I thought was pretty cool. Because it wasn't that I didn't like my boss. I just liked the option of not having to ask anybody for time off. I got to do what I wanted to do, when I wanted to do it, with who I wanted for however long I wanted. That's something that really appealed to me. Working, for some of you, if you're working at a job that you don't like for a boss that you like even freaking less than that, then that should be the fuel to really look at it. But that was one of the challenges, to really shift. And even when I'd come home from work, I would, I actually got into that mode of, I was more excited to get home, when there was calls going on. This was our education. We were plugging in and we were playing at 100%. That's what I mean. Like every opportunity you want to try to play at 100%.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love that. And I think too that, and you touched on this, is that, and we've heard you say this before, is that, we do surround ourselves with the people that are going to support us and build us up. And we're not in the business of convincing. A man convinced against his will is of the same opinion still. So if those people don't get it, it's okay. Pay attention, zero in on the people that are starting to get it, the people who are looking for solutions and are looking for answers. And I think that's really where, when you find your group, like your tribe, and you and Kev communicating before work and after work and coming home to Robin and getting into it, what your goals and dreams are, that's what we have to do. Surround ourselves by those people and stay plugged into it. So when it comes to, and I don't want to speak for anyone on the call. You guys can throw some questions in the chat anytime. But, we've got a variety of different ages here and different stages of life. But sometimes, and I know in the beginning, I didn't feel legit talking about the opportunity because I wasn't there. Like I wasn't in the space where I'd had that success. So it didn't feel authentic. And sometimes, if you've got like a 19-year-old or an 18-year-old or a 25-year-old talking to, to like a 35 or 40-year-old about this opportunity. I mean, it's like, what's your experience? What do you know? You're just a kid kind of thing. Like, I'm just thinking, do you have any advice for them about, being a leader and being, someone who's coming to them with something?
Oh, yeah.
Can you speak
to what? And that's a great point, because I get to speak to you from that 48-year-old point of view. And now you're 18, 19 years old. First of all, everybody who's got success in Isagenix, every one of the freaking millionaires actually started in the exact same place where everybody on this call is. No success, I got to go out and build it. Nobody all of a sudden served it to you and said, hey, why don't we just allow you to start at a 3-star level? Nobody does that, right? So, but I want you guys to understand, the millennials, this is what's so freaking exciting, is if you get that one person, or you get a couple of those 40-year-olds who are saying, what do you know when you're 18 or 19? That's a filter. They're an idiot. You want to just, don't worry about that. I'm just going to be candid. I think most 40-year-olds are looking, wow, why didn't I take more chances when I was younger? And then they start looking at young, entrepreneurs like you guys, and I just think you got that opportunity to totally step into that and actually show them what they have an opportunity to still grab right now. And, because when I see the start group, and I'm going to say this, guys, there's people in a start group that are ripping this up. And what I do is I look at that and I go, man, I love that. That's an example to my younger kids. My kids don't listen to me. Are you kidding me? They look at the start group. But guess what? There's people in a start group that are doing the square root of F all. Nothing. And if you're just coming to the call every week, to feel warm and I want to feel like I just got attacked by a Care Bear, nothing's going to change in your life. But you can step into this. I think you guys have an incredible opportunity to totally set the pace. But you got to make a decision. You got to stop dipping your toe. And I'm just saying generally, I speak to people about this all the time and I go, stop dipping your toe and cannonball in this pool. Cannonball in, because when you have that full 100% belief and you're coming from that position of belief and you're excited about where you're going, then I'm going to tell you, people, that's what attracts people to you. That's what brings people to you. They want to know what's going on. Why would people want to join you? That's what you got to ask. Look at yourself. And sometimes it's a tough question, but would you sign up with you? Are you consistent? You know, are you a leader? Hey, guess what? I do a lot of stuff with John Maxwell, the leadership guys. This is what's great. Leadership has no freaking age attached to it. There's no seniority. There's no, you got to put in so much time. It isn't. When you look at leadership and why, like when we look at Emily and Hayden Vavra, and we look at, you know, all these other START members, you know, that are really lighting it up. Think about this. What makes them different? They made a decision to step into their leadership. They didn't care about age. They just wanted to influence other people. They wanted to add value to other people. So when you decide that, you know, and just so you know, all leadership is influence, your ability to influence others. And then you just take it away from yourself. You go, wow, I want to add value. I want to be a leader. I want to be that person who's at the front of the room, whatever room it is, a living room, you know, a conference room, showing people what's possible with this incredible vehicle and this opportunity. That's what you really want to look at. And so I'm telling you, when you get it kind of intimidated, well, I haven't made any money, you know what? Great. You know, if you're not where you want financially in your business, then talk about where you're going. But don't talk about it unless you're actually in action. And what I mean by that is there's nothing wrong with saying, I think it's very powerful when you're talking to someone and say, hey, listen, you know, excited about this opportunity, this vehicle, look at this movement we're part of. And then someone goes, well, how much money are you making? I'm saying, hey, guess what? I've either just started or I'm not at the point where I want to make now, but let me tell you, I'm on pace to create a 6-figure income in the next 12 to 18 months, you know, or 12 to 24 months, whatever it is, if you're in action. And that's what you really want to look at. Is tell them, I'm on pace for this. And I remember when we started talking to friends, a lot of friends turned us down. But I told them what I saw with Isagenix was the ability to match my police income of $100,000 a year. So I told them that my goal is to make an extra $2,000 a week. Is this something you'd be interested in? And say, hey, listen, if it's not, that's okay, but you're one of my friends. You know, if I went off and did this for a year and didn't talk to you and I'm making $100,000, that would make me a bit of a prick. And, you know, all of a sudden I come back to you in a year and I go, hey, I'm making $100,000. You want to come join me now? No, it's now to talk about it and why. And I think one of the things, everybody can agree to this. Everybody here has seen enough people who have created success in Isagenix, right? So this isn't about, does Isagenix work? It absolutely works. So if you can actually make a decision to say that you are going to create success, you're not going to see if this works. I'm just going to go and make it happen because I know there's other people doing it. And I'm, you know, looking at all the successful people, everybody started exactly where you were. They had to work on their belief, had to develop their skills, and they had to get systemized so that when people are joining them, they knew exactly what to do to put them through the system. So but that's what I love. Leadership has no freaking age. You can step into it at any time you want and decide, you know, I'm going to rip this up. People will follow people who are, first of all, committed, 100% have that belief. they don't want to join someone that might not be there next week, or they're not sure, because everybody's already a little tentative. You're thinking, I'm not sure about this, a new business. That's where, so I'm just saying, like, when you look at that, just make that decision to say, I'm done trying. Let's go and freaking make this happen. Does it mean you're going to go straight to the top? No. But I'll tell you, I really absolutely believe, your results are going to change when you actually make that decision, are committed to that. Like, I'm going to tell you, when you make a decision and then you just manage it, you get results. Look at Jay and Sarah. Okay? Jay made the decision that he wanted to be an Isabody finalist. Okay? And he completed 8 freaking Isabody challenges. And he got there. But he commits to that decision every day. He doesn't make the decision every day. He's made it. He manages it. It's the same thing in your business. Figure out what is it that you want, and then just commit to working every day towards it. Because I'm going to tell you, one of the things is there's a lot of people in Isagenix who have done some amazing things. And I think it's important to really respect what they've done and what they've accomplished. Model successful behavior. That was a Freudian slip, sorry. And but what you want to do is don't be in awe of anybody, because that immediately puts you below them. It is just a complete play on your own mindset that when you're in awe of somebody, they're like up there. It's not achievable. That's a bunch of BS. I'm telling you that everybody on this call can absolutely achieve what they want with Isagenix, with this vehicle, the freedom, whatever you want. You just got to commit to building the skills. Maybe you got to work on skills a bit longer. It doesn't matter. It's like playing basketball, you know what? But this is what I say, Tina, to that answer. I saw an incredible video. I'm sure a lot of you saw it. And it was a young entrepreneur who I believe was 19 years old who said it. And I believe every opportunity, it was the same one. And he talked about Michael Jordan. Let's just say Michael Jordan and myself were standing here, and we both got a basketball. Michael Jordan has a lot more skills than I do, but let's just say now I'm going to actually shoot the ball, but he decides to hold the ball. Who has a better chance of successfully nailing a basket? He has more skill. Don't wait to perfect your skill. Every master was a disaster. And I'm going to tell you, you gotta be willing to just go out there with your excitement, your enthusiasm, let people know you're learning, but you got to be willing to suck in order to get great at anything. And I think that's the quickest way to really develop those skills and move into it. But I love the fact that, don't be intimidated to talk to older people, because they're looking at you going, man, I wish I had, the nerve. I wish I had the drive, the belief to try something new, because a lot of people our age are sitting in a job wishing they would have taken a chance when they are younger. So they would still love to hear it,
Yeah, definitely. I love that. And I love how when you talked about, that leads us into the next question. So when you talked about perfecting the skills, and Poro mentioned in the beginning about, Robin, and you advising her what to do, and she just had to do what you told her to do. So if you were to give these guys, sort of your top 3 things where if they just, step out, make the decision, take the action, and they're sort of like top 3 things to success when building this, what would you tell them to do?
I would say, first of all, you're the number 1 asset in your business. It's not the products. It's not the comp plan. It's nothing. People buy you. They don't buy your shakes. They don't buy your comp plan. Ultimately, if they're going to partner, they're making a decision. Do they partner with you? So I'm going to say, treat yourself like the most important asset in your business. Invest in yourself. What I mean by that is, obviously, events are key. And events aren't there to go rah. You're going there to, first of all, build your belief in, the company, the industry, you know, the products, of course, but the comp plan, you're going to learn all that. But you got to build your belief in yourself that you can be successful. You can do this. There's no reason why you can't. We all have the same thing. So managing that 6 inches between your ears are truly the number one difference between creating success or struggling. So I'm going to say treat yourself. That's the first one. Invest in yourself. Events, personal growth. Find someone that may be able to, you know, give you some advice, mentoring, coaching, something like that. Make sure you're willing to be coachable. But invest in yourself, because that's going to be the key. I'd have to say the second one is commit to taking daily action in your business. Sorry, this isn't a job, and I know a lot of people say do it 5 days a week. I still do something 7 days a week in my business. I'm looking at something. I may not pick up the phone every day, but I'm doing something that my business needs every day. And that could be everything from connecting with people is your number one, but you got to look at building skills. If not, all weekend I've been preparing training for, you know, what can I give to my team? How can I support other people? That's one of the key things. And then I'm just, you know, I'd have to say is it comes back to leadership, Tina. Make the decision that you want to be a leader. Stop waiting for other people to go first. Stop waiting for someone else to come into your business and do it for you. Step into it and say, you know what? I'm going to do this. I'm going out to find some amazing business partners. I'm truly going to add value to people every day. So step into that leadership, make that decision, and just, you know, set like an audacious goal. Like I'm telling you, like if your goals don't scare the crap out of you, then you're not setting them high enough. And I tell you guys, we go so many times without hitting our goals. It's about, you know, you can move that flagpole down the road, but don't ever downsize your goals. You know, keep the goals high. Results don't lie. So you're going to just have to look at your results. Am I taking the action I need to be taken? Where can I improve? You know, but I would say step in and just step into that leadership. That'd be the 3 things I'd say. Tina.
Awesome. You guys, are those good? Grab something from those. Amazing. Yeah, I love that. And I love that, you know, don't wait to go first. You know, I just find that it's so important. That's when we learn the most, is when we just step out of our comfort zones and just, you know, just take action. If there's nothing around you happening, then make something happen. That's the way we, you know, can make it go. Okay. So your most impactful piece of advice that you've received on your journey, was there something someone said from stage? Was there something in a conversation someone said to you? You know, we all have those aha moments. What was one of Mike Dallaire's aha moments?
Wow, that's a good one. I think probably the one that really, for us, it was believing that we can actually create the results that other people were. You know, we went to a celebration and we were actually there to figure that out. Is this really something we're going to go all in on? And yeah, we were fortunate enough. We won a dinner with Susan Sly and Jim and Kathy Coover there. So we had Max. He was just an infant. And so we were trying to be in the corner, not to bother anybody with the baby. And it was amazing. Like, I didn't, you know, of course you see Kathy Coover from a distance and Susan, all that stuff. So we're kind of, you know, pretty excited about the whole experience. But I'm going to say that Kathy Coover actually came up and asked if she can hold our son. And she said something that really changed, because we had gotten to maybe about 10 cycles, I think, by this time. We were on our build. And the one thing she said, and she said it just with such belief, like she wasn't feeding a lion or anything. It was just, she's just holding Max, and she said, you know what? She goes, you have no idea the lifestyle your son and your family are going to have if you just don't quit and you keep going. And it just blew us away. Like, and it really caused us to think. And a lot of people go, why me? Like, what do I have? And from that point on, it really created a shift for Robin and I. And I don't know if you want to call it attitude or whatever, but I encourage everybody to take this on, is why not me? And I encourage everybody to say that. Why not me? Enough of this BS about, well, what do I have? No, enough of that crap. Why not you? And that's when we really did. It was just that, don't quit, but I committed. And when we say committed, Tina, like events were non-negotiable. That one event where we won Heart of Isagenix, Robin had major surgery and we couldn't go. I was at home taking care of it. It was an incredible surprise. But we would just commit to learning. I would go and see people who are successful and I'd want to know, what are you doing? How are you speaking? What are your daily method of operation? What do you do on a daily basis? What are you reading? What do you And then I would ensure, and we always got challenged by our coach. It's great to read personal development, but what are you applying every day? If you're not applying anything, then it's useless. So it's kind of like, great. I really talk about committing to personal growth, because that's the only thing. If you want something you've never had, you've actually got to become someone you've never been. And you got to be willing to do something you've never done. That doesn't mean doing something illegal. It's just really stepping outside your comfort zone and stepping into this, but yeah,
that's powerful. That is powerful. Yeah, I'm sure everyone can kind of felt that in the guts. That's so powerful. And we see that. We see that in the people that we have, like yourself and Robin, who are in close vicinity with, Pam and Kevin, and so many other leaders that we're connected with, and other teammates. Like I know even with, I'm looking at, one couple on the screen right now that I know where they're going, and so many of them. It's so powerful. So I would love to just ask you, what would be, you talked about personal growth. So what is, Mike Dallaire's one favorite? I'm sure it's hard to pick a favorite, but if you were to give them one book that you loved or one personal growth resource, what would that be? That was really impactful.
I'm going to give you two. And the reason being is that everybody on this call, anybody, we're all on a journey, so to speak. We're all growing, and you got to commit to growing all the time. So I would have to say one of the books that radically changed the way I thought and the habits I developed was Success Principles by Jack Canfield. Yeah. And it was also a book that really allowed me to start being a far more effective coach for when my business partners were hitting wall-kicking moments. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. It really allowed you to start applying success principles. And you're not going to apply all of them, but you start picking, and then we just say, what am I going to do today? This is what I'm going to focus on. The other one, obviously, is a John Maxwell book, 15 Invaluable Laws of Growth. If you want to step into that, that's incredibly powerful, it's very, quality stuff as far as personal growth. And but those would be my two right there.
Awesome. Those are great books. I love both of those books. And I found with Success Principles is something that it's almost like a workshop. Like each chapter is like a mini workshop. So it takes some time to go through it, but super, super valuable. Okay. Yeah. So I would love to, we're getting close on time here, but you know what? We don't get this guy on this call every day. Do any of you guys have any questions for Mike or any takeaways, or you want to throw any love at him or something? Any questions for Mike while we have him on the phone? Because otherwise we'll close up the call. Put you all on the spot. Was the second book was 15 Invaluable Laws of Growth. That was by John Maxwell.
By John Maxwell.
Yeah.
You know what, and as if anybody has any questions, this is awesome, fire away. But Tina, the one thing I really just, kind of want to touch on with everybody is that it truly, a lot of people say this, and I don't buy into a lot of different hype, but the power of making a decision is key. That you're going to be the leader and you're going to be a business owner. Are you treating your business like $1 million business? and we started treating our business like it was going to pay us $1 million way before it was paying us that. And what I mean by, now it's paid us a couple million, but it's, how are you showing up in your business? How are you showing up as a leader? And I'm going to share, some of you may have, and if you're okay, I just want to be transparent. I'm just going to be real. How are you showing up? And I mean like everywhere, because every time you show up to an event, you show up onto a call, people, that's your brand. So like, you know what I mean? And sometimes we get into this groove of, we know like the start calls every Sunday night. We have a team call every Monday night. And some people are, I want you to think about this. I'm going to commit to showing up to the call like I'm speaking every freaking week. I'm going to show up and bring energy to the call. When people say, who has something to add? Do you always sit back? Everybody has bad off days. Don't worry about that, guys. But I'm talking about, how are you showing up most of the time? Say, I want to add value to this call. I want to be, leaning into this. I want people to recognize me as a leader. And it doesn't happen in one day. It's going to take over a period of time. And I just encourage you to do this. I think this, this whole group that's been going on with the Start Your Life Canada is phenomenal. But don't also be afraid to ask for advice and help. There's so many leaders in this company that are willing. So find someone that you resonate with. And if you're not exactly sure what to do, model their behavior. And that's the key thing is I think stop picking and choosing what we do in our business. I did that at the beginning. And, we've got to just say, okay, if they tell me to do 10 things and I only do 7, I don't have a right to say, why is my business not moving? Does that make sense? So, yeah, you hit the head when you're like, well, I'm picking and choosing, and that was a comfort thing. That's moving outside your comfort zone. So you know what I mean? I really encourage you, find someone who has what you want. And then just be willing to continuously do what they did to get it, and eventually you're going to get what they got. Stop listening to people, like I had all these other cops telling me we'll never be successful. And I remember I made the decision right off the bat, even though I already know what they make. They're making $100,000 a year, but I'm going to go and listen to this woman who's a millionaire, and I'm going to see what happens then. But yeah, I just think, get excited about this. Invest in yourself, believe in yourself. You should just understand that, hey, I'm 100% committed. I'm the best person anybody can sign up with. Believe it and go out and do whatever you can to help your people move forward. And one of the things we have right now is this crystal reset. If you guys aren't pursuing this crystal reset, like it's life or death, then I think you got to re-look at why you're doing this. Go back to the reason why, because as a leader, you got to show people what's possible. But you got to be able to, do the do, if that makes sense. Show people what's possible and lock arms with people and take them with you. You know what I mean? But there's so many exciting things going on that we can go. But are there any questions?
Mm-hmm.
Start to you.
No, I think that it's all very, very, very helpful. And I think it's so powerful. Like you said, is how we do anything is how we do everything. So if we haven't done a complete 30-day system and followed it, and done that by example, if we haven't done, it's like Jason, I was thinking about when you mentioned Jason doing the back-to-back, 8 isobodies, guys. And he wasn't just messing around doing his isobodies. Like, this dude is serious. What if we did 8 90-day action plans back-to-back? Where would we be? I know for myself, as far as a complete full 90-day, there's probably 2 out of the 8 that I've done that I really kicked it. What if you did that? So take some of the amazing advice that Mike is giving us and put it into action. For those of you that are going to red and white, I think almost all of you are pretty much on this call. Imagine you show up every morning, looking yourself in the mirror. I'm the CEO of $1 million company. Okay. And you go to work every day, and you go to school every day, and you go to do your life every day with that in your mindset. You attend red and white as that person who is building $1 million company, the CEO of your $1 million company. You leave that event and you take every word and every note and you put it all into action, and you do that consistently for 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, do you think anything good is going to happen in your business or your life? Right.
Absolutely.
You know, absolutely.
And you know, on that note, sorry, Tina, in red and white, guys, we know this. We know there's going to be amazing training from the stage. There's going to be, you know, awesome stuff going on. Every event, go there with the intention, who I want to develop a relationship with. Because the people you associate with, that's like your law of environment. You're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with, right? So always be looking to improve your environment. But we really started, when we looked at Isagenix, that was one of the other key things. Is we were always like, wow, we resonate with that person. You know, I'm just going to go and introduce myself. Really resonate, that's great. Would love to connect with you on social media. Maybe that's going to turn into someone.
He'll kick back in here in a second.
Who's actually going to, you know, do a 3-way call with you. You know, so really look at that and see, you know, who do you want to connect with? Awesome. Did I freeze?
Yeah, you froze. You're frozen. It's all good. We can hear you, but your face is frozen. All right. It's all good. Okay. Well, I think that's a really great note to end on. I know that there were a couple of quick things in. Nicole, I can, if you want, you asked a question in there. Quite a few leaders within Isagenix know a little bit about the product and the company. Tell me what makes you the person I would want to join. That's a really great question. I don't know if Mike is still here, if he got kicked out. How I would answer that, I mean, I would speak to them. Why would you, from a perspective of what are their goals? Who are they? What's important to them? And, you know, why would you want to be able to work with that person? Because you really care about them as an individual. You know, you've been able, what some of the successes are that you have, question yourself. Just say, because I'm really dedicated to this company. This is what I do for, you know, for part of my, you know, my business. And I'm very committed to supporting my people for long-term results, not just quick fixes. And just really get into what, you know, start evaluating, who are you, Nicole? If I were to say 3 things about Nicole that I know about you, you know, it would be that you show up. It would be that you're consistent. It would be that you're, you know, you make a presence and you make yourself available. Like, start to think about what some of those things are, and don't be afraid to stand into your posture and be able to share that with someone, right? Does that make sense? Okay, that's a quick blah. I don't know if Mike's back or not. Coral, did you have something to say, hun?
Yeah, I'd love to add on what you just said. So I just had that situation happen where someone's chiropractor had brought it to their attention, and I had brought it to their attention a while back. And so I said, look, you can go through whoever you want to go through. That is totally up to you. Because guys, it's their choice. But I told her, if you're looking at this from a business, I know where I'm going and I know what our team is doing. And if you want that support and that encouragement and those people to surround you and tell you you can go and here's exactly what you need to do, then I would partner with me. But it is your choice. You partner with whoever makes you feel most comfortable. I'm excited for you either way. Because when you have that posture of it's your choice, do what you want to do, but I know where I'm going and you want to hop on this train before it takes off, your business will grow better than if you're like, just choose me, please. You know, you got it.
Yeah. Yeah. You would never come from that space. That's awesome. Good addition. Okay. Well, you guys, I'm going to close this out. Thank you so much for being here. Mike got bumped out. So when I post a recording, if you guys want to throw some love Mike's way, I know that we have lots of great stuff that we took from him. It's always a really big bam moment. That's one of his favorite sayings, and always a really good, someone wrote punch in the face or kick in the butt, whatever you want to call it. Mike doesn't sugarcoat it. So how many of you guys are committed to taking some of what he shared tonight and making this week one of the best weeks you've had in a while? Awesome. Okay. Well, you guys, we will see you next week. We've got Christy Shaver on the call next week. She's another one who's super epic. Always love having Christy on the call. We are still looking for people to assist with hosting and people to assist with sharing your story. So it's a great opportunity for you to step into your leadership and give back. We'd love to have you guys step up. I kind of help people get coached up for sharing. If you're a little nervous or you're not really sure, then we help you with that. But let me know if you guys are interested, or reach out to Morgs. And you guys have an amazing week, and we'll see you next Sunday night. Bye, everyone.